with dreams, colors come alive. Chameleons changing, no two are alike. Inspired to learn about the world outside. Here I go, on a journey wild and wide. Microscope zooming a whole new sight. Madagascar beckons, it's a magical flight. Exploring the wonders with eyes open wide. I'm on a quest with knowledge as my guide. Woodworking hands shaping dreams anew, creating beauty from the depths of truth. Building bridges, connecting old and new. Crafting tales that will touch hearts through.
Hello, Chameleon Academy. Wonderful. Whew. It's a wonderful day. And yes, I have been running all over the place because today I have actually you saw on the introduction that that last Parsons King Banana Man is on his way to his new home. And so we have another member of our community who is going to be keeping Parsons chameleons. And so that's exciting. And I just ran in the door from dropping off that little guy. And so here, I know that there's been some talking, but Two Turtle Tom, there is the tardigrade. This is my tardigrade. That's right. That's right. We're doing, this is my little guy. So, yes, I actually do have a tardigrade. And you know what? I have a white tardigrade too. And these are actually 3D printed by Mikey Ben because he sent me tardigrades because I need tardigrades. So, so that is right. It is wonderful when your community comes together and make sure you have tardigrades. So, let's see. Matthew came home from England to Spain now. Excellent. Matthew's back home. And so we can say that we've got people from Spain here. And Marvin 4x4 just got my first chameleon. Congratulations. Hey, Dean's here. All right. Albino morph tardigrade. Yeah, there's these are pretty rare and very highly sought after. I mean, premium price. I don't even know if I'd be willing to sell, $10,000, I'd consider it, but maybe not. Who knows? So, oh, wait a minute. That's right. There are some things that happened, and let's see here. I gotta bring up a photo here. So let's see. There we go. There we go. Let me bring this up for with Google. You see, you got to go through all these steps. What the heck? But we are going to share. There we go. Who are those people? Oh, so this is what where I spent my weekend hanging out with some great people. And if you know that guy in the front, that's Mr. James Cross. That's me to the left of the picture. And that's Misty Mountain Fence Yvette next to me. And then Matthew Gallup, and then Dr. Michael Nash. And we all got together to hang out, to talk chameleons, and have a grand old time. So let's see. Bill, are you familiar with the antibiotic clavicillin? It's supposed to be refrigerated. Of course, I accidentally left it out, and I just wonder if it's safe to use. I am not familiar with that antibiotic. And so I would not be able to give you insight in that particular one. But I am now going to be looking it up and see if I can get familiar with that. Yeah, that's an interesting thing. So, so we had a grand old time, and you look at that plant that I'm holding. That is Begonia maculata, the angel wing begonia. And Matt was just growing a bunch of them. Said, "Hey, you want one?" Yeah, I want one. So we had the plants are two types of begonias. I'm not sure the kind of begonia that Michael is holding, but it was a great time. There we go. Oh man, James, we gotta remember Dean. I'm not sure. Oh man, thank you very much, Anthony. Hello, Eric. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Plants rock. That is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. I love all the plants and making the terrariums and such. Okay, Jarek's got did a little bit of research. Thank you very much, Jarek. Looked it up, and several sources say you should be okay if you leave it out for a day. All right, that is wonderful. So, well, everybody, I got to tell you, it has been quite a week. As many of you know, I just launched my new reptile YouTube channel. And whenever you launch a new channel, oh my goodness, there is so much that that goes into that. And of course, then there's the next video. So it's like I've got to work on get that going. But I'm so excited about it. It's a lot of fun, and very excited with what I'm able to share. So the next episode, which is going to come out on Monday, is going to be about Eurypletus fantasticus. But my videos have some depth, and so the top level is going to be Eurypletus fantasticus care, but the underpinnings of it is how to put together a care guide. And so there's even if you have no interest in geckos, you're going to be able to get a lot of value out of the way the video presents how you put together a care guide, and it's applicable to all reptiles. So when is the reptile show on, Matthew? Actually, it is on right now. There is Unfortunately, I can't put links into Instagram, but the channel, it is Misty Forest Dragons, and that's the name of it, Misty Forest Dragons. It's a YouTube channel, and it's to the general reptile community, but the topics and the issues are going to be very familiar with. These are the things that we go through on a pretty daily basis here. But the thing is, it's the same thing other communities go through, and we should bring that discussion to them. Hey, thank you very much, Justin. I appreciate the super sticker. I've been enjoying the new channel. Thank you very much. I am glad you're enjoying it. And Anthony Ford's from the UK. We have the UK in the house. We've got Spain, the UK. Any other countries? Let me know. We got to have a roll call here. All right, Wayne Beatties wants to know who has news. Any news? Wayne Beatties? I've got a tardigrade. That's my news. I got a tardigrade, and I had a wonderful weekend, and I sent out a Parsons Chameleon to a wonderful new keeper. So, Winnebeauty says, Bill, the first video was awesome. Can't wait for what's next. I'm glad you enjoyed it. First video was about evaluating your first beginner reptile. Marvin 4x4 says, can I ask a random question? That is the kind of question we like. I'm very new to chameleons. Yeah, Marvin, go ahead and answer. Ask the question. Ask the question. All right, we're going to be getting a question from someone who just got their first chameleon. So we'll have a first chameleon question, and that is wonderful. And now that I'm back home, this guy is going to start getting put together. So I'm looking forward to being able to show you that one. Will it be put together by Saturday? Probably not, because I need to get all that filming done. So I'm on a schedule now. Can you believe that? Can you do that? It's like I'm a slave to the schedule. Captain Wiggins, thank you very much. Thank you very much for the super sticker. Appreciate that, Chris. So, all right, Marvin is asking, I went with the Sky Terra UVB LED. Is that okay? Okay. The question is about UVB LEDs and are they effective? And I will say at this point, there are some concerns about UVB LEDs being voiced, but I am unaware of any proven issue. And the people who have used them are having a grand old time and are saying that they work just fine. I have not heard of a negative comment about the UVB LEDs. Now, the next question people ask me is, so do you use them? And the answer is no, I do not use them yet. And the reason is because I am holding on to my T5 UVB LEDs for as long as possible. And the reason is not because I don't want to go forward. I love going forward, and LEDs are they are going to be the superior light source as soon as we prove, yeah, they work. And the thing is, when you have a new technology, you don't know what to look for. You can go with your solar meter and you can see exactly what the solar meter measures, but you don't know what the solar meter is not measuring. So what I tell people right now is use them, and don't worry about it. As far as we know right now, they work. So just use them and keep your eye open and share your experiences, good or bad. I mean, if everybody is using them and has great experiences, then we've got to wait until somebody has a bad experience before we start demonizing them. There is something to be said for being cautious, and that's what I'm being. I'm being cautious, but it's not because I have a reason to be cautious. Now, the the acid test, shall we say, is when somebody like some panther chameleon breeder decides to replace their T5 UVBs with the LEDs, and we verify, and doesn't give dietary D3, and we verify that those females are producing fully calcified clutches of eggs. Once that happens, it's like, okay, somebody's got to come up with something really significant to say that this is dangerous or whatever, because that's our test in the chameleon world, and it should be a test anywhere. If the female can lay a clutch of fully calcified eggs without supplements that have dietary D3, then the UVB is working. Now, there may be other things. Light is made up of lots of wavelengths, so we're always looking, always testing. But that's that's my talk about UVB LEDs. Just Rich 93 is asking, is an 18 by 18 by 36 enclosure big enough? I'm looking to get a chameleon for the first time, but I'd like to set up the vivarium first. I ordered that size, but now I'm questioning that decision. Just Rich, that will depend on what kind of chameleon you get. If you're getting a carpet chameleon, that size is sufficient. If you're getting a veiled chameleon, a panther chameleon, Jackson's chameleon, those are the most common ones, then you need to go at least a 24 by 24 by 48. Don't even bother with the 36 inch. Just go up to the 48, return it if you can, cancel it if you can, and just go up to the other cage. Because if you don't now, you're gonna have to later. So you may as well just, take care of it now. And that's so it depends on what species you're getting involved with. And if you let me know what species you're getting involved with, then I can give you another answer. Nicole's asking, if you do bake collected wood before putting it in your enclosure, what temp and how long, any negative effects of doing this that you know of? Nicole, I don't know off the top of my head. I have a podcast. If you go to the Chameleon Academy podcast on any podcast player, I have an episode done with Alec O'Brien, who had a business. It was all about branches and what you do with branches, and that temperature would be in there. I personally do not bake any of my branches, so I've never baked branches. So I'm going to have to refer you to someone else for that. Now you're going to say, well, Bill, why don't you bake branches? Because I just take them naturally from the ground. I make sure there's no large, dangerous bugs on them, and I use them. And I've done this for decades upon decades. It's worked great for me. I don't like bleaching. I don't like baking. That said, I don't discourage anyone from being extra careful. So go ahead, bake if you'd like to. If you would ask, if you wanted my opinion on it, I would say don't worry about baking it. Just put it in the cage. And I've done it for so long that unless you have a reason to believe that there is some pathogen or something in there, I would say that is one of the things. There's a number of things we do in the chameleon community that are because of concerns that we had a long time ago, and we've never updated the advice. So the advice continues. Nobody really remembers why we did the advice, but the advice continues. And an example of that, there's one escaping from the cage behind you. One what? One what? I hope there's nothing escaping. Yes, that's okay. There's nothing in that cage that is open. But thank you very much. That would be very embarrassing to have an escape. To have an escape while I'm on camera. But one of the things that persists is people talking about washing the leaves of plants that come from Home Depot because of pesticides. And I mean, you can wash the leaves, that's fine. But the thing is, the industry has gone to systemic insecticides that are in the juices inside. They're not the contact that are on the top. So we have a bunch of people that are cleaning the leaves of the plants they have because that's the advice. But the thing is, the reason why that advice came into being decades and decades ago has gone away. They don't, unless you have a nursery specifically that says, I am using contact poisons, they don't like doing that because that kills the beneficial insects that are on your side. So systemics have taken over, and washing the leaves isn't going to do anything for the systemics that are inside the plant. So you checking is hilarious. Oh no, I always check. If somebody says there's something going on behind me, I always check. So okay, I have let's see, let's go over to these my chat and YouTube. I'm so far behind, so we're going to okay. Nate's iguana is going to surgery tomorrow. Okay, everybody, let's think good thoughts for that. How are your brevicorn babies? Oh, they're doing great. I need to take more pictures. It is so hard to take pictures of these guys, but I'm going to do it for Saturday. I'm going to have pictures of these guys. But my goodness, it is so hard to take pictures of these. Yeah, so all right. I just replaced all my T5 plant lights. Now I got to upgrade to UVB LEDs. Yeah, you do it and let me know how it's gone. See, learned a lot from this channel. Thank you so much. I bought on a whim, had some problems. This helped a lot. Yeah, buying on a whim with a chameleon. Thing is, when you buy a chameleon on a whim and then you find out everything, oh my goodness, I didn't realize there's this much. So yes. All right, let me go. Bill, don't look in the garage right now. I'm modifying time. Oh, if everybody remembers this joke, the last DIY chameleon guys was all about electricity and timers and stuff like that. Just Rich asking all the right questions. Yep, we get good questions here. Nicole's asking, are you going to the Reptiles Super Show in January? Nicole, I don't believe I am because when is it? So let me see. Reptile Super Show, Los Angeles. What I'm doing is I'm trying to check to see. Yeah. Unfortunately, I will not, Nicole, because I will be in Madagascar when that show is happening. So I've got a number of the people here. James Cross, who's here, Anna Ballistic, and Ty, who is here. These people are all going to be going to Madagascar for a Chameleon Academy trip. And don't worry, we're going to digitally take you all with us. Have you ever wanted to keep abronias? Yes, I love abronias. I raised up abronias a while ago. Graminia. Love them. So I was about to buy my panther. Did a bit of research and took me a month to get everything. Yeah, Marvin, 4x4. Glad you did your research. Because when people just get a chameleon, like some reptiles, you can just get the reptile and go down to Petco and get everything you need. Chameleons aren't that way. And unfortunately, people aren't warned that. And sometimes there's no way for people to know that. It's not like there's a big red warning sign that pops up on your computer when you start buying a chameleon. And so, yeah, we get a lot of people that get surprised. And we try to help as much as we can. All right, James, you've got people making control panels now. Bought a male and a female in a small tank. They fought to bits. Yep. So I got another tank. It was all expensive, but I feel it's good for both of them. Anthony Ford, never. You're absolutely correct. Never keep chameleons together. I know some people will say you can. I'm going to say they're full of garbage. You can't. Do not. The chameleons are the ones that suffer. And I've lost patience with all the people who consider themselves experts and are giving the advice that you can keep chameleons together. Totally lost patience. No more grace. You should know by now. If you want it, I'm not talking about you specifically, Anthony. I'm talking about the people who say, yeah, you can keep them together. Those people do not deserve to be in a position to have a voice. All right. I've said it. Lost patience. We are so far, we have known this for decades, and there's no reason for anybody who has come into the chameleon community in the last at least decade to have any idea that chameleons can be kept together. So yeah, anybody tells you to keep chameleons together, no longer, don't go to their group, don't listen to them. You'll be better off. So let's see. Oh no, living rarities. I got way too many Parsons right now. I need to find people. Anybody want some Parsons? I still have a pair of Parsons, a pair of yellow giant Parsons, and a male. So if you're interested in a Parsons chameleon, email me, bill@chameleonacademy.com. Okay. Yeah, here. You can email me there. But I love Parsons. Have you never kept versicolor together? I don't know what versicolor is, unless you're talking about an abronia. If you have babies for sale ever, nope. I only have adults, wild caught adults right now. They were part of a study group. That's it. All right, Tyler's here. Hello, welcome. So, all right. So this is Wayne Abides sharing what he did as far as baking for sticks. I don't know. I haven't done it. Nicole says, don't say that. I have empty tank syndrome right now. Well, Nicole, if you have a huge tank, then we can talk. Yes, these are full grown, massive chameleons. They are incredible, absolutely incredible, majestic and incredible and amazing. It is difficult to sell them, but that was my agreement. This is an agreement where I took on some Parsons chameleons, and it was part of my study of parasites. And so I've been working with deparasitizing them and recording what kind of parasites and things I find and things like that. And the agreement was that I sell them. And so now I'm at the point where it's time to sell them. So that's the situation. Hello, Twisted Head Rush. J Ramps, are the Parsons the huge ones? Yes, they are. Yeah, I meant the viridis. Oh, living rarities meant the viridis. I have not kept viridis. Yeah, I have not kept those. But no, you don't keep any chameleons together. There are some chameleons that tolerate it more, but eventually it will catch up to them. We shouldn't even be keeping the Brachysia together. And not babies, not Brachysia, nothing. And we've spent so long making excuses for us wanting to keep creatures together that don't like to be together. Oh, they grew up together. They're brothers. They're male and female. I've kept them together and they haven't gone after each other. We got to stop. Chameleons don't like being with each other. And as much as we try to make it happen, it's not good for the chameleon. Yes, we can get away with it. We can force them to be together, but we're not serving the chameleon. We're serving our own interests. For some reason, we human beings cannot let go of having a herd of everything. We need a pair. We need to keep them together. That's just a human thing. This is not a chameleon thing. And so whenever somebody wants to keep chameleons together, it's because they don't have enough space to do it right. Whenever someone wants to keep a pair together, why are you breeding? We have this inner need for breeding. I have no idea what it is. I mean, I feel it too. If I'm going to get a chameleon, I want to have a pair so I can breed it. Why do I want to breed it? I mean, have you tried? I mean, I love baby chameleons. I mean, that's my passion. But have you ever tried selling chameleons? It's a lot of work. Why would you want to do that? Oh, let's see, November. Noviembre. Can you answer me? I don't know. You don't have any idea that. You know what? Noviembre, I don't know what your question is. And Matthew has more idea than you. Oh, okay. You know what? Unfortunately, they don't let me get rid of people on Instagram. But let's see. This is what I do just to make sure. We'll get rid of that guy. So let's see. Oh, can I? Nah, Instagram doesn't let me do that. So we'll just ignore that guy. I started off breeding panthers. I used to bring Melorite also. So much work. Yeah, it's a lot of work. It's so much work. So I don't recommend anybody. The thing is, breeding is wonderful. It's a lot of fun, but it's so much work. And the thing is, it's so much work to do it right. If you do it, if you cut corners, if you keep babies all together in a bin, I mean, that's cutting corners, and the chameleons are suffering. It's like, no, they survive, not as well. And it's our job to give them the best lives possible. It's not our job to give them the minimum so they survive and we flush them out of our house and we get some money for it. There was a time where that's what we needed to do to grow as a community. That time's over. We're past that. We're to the point where it's time to figure out the best way to do it, to get away from this idea. Minimalistic keeping is when you take things away and you see if it still works. We should be adding things and doing adding as many components as we can to make their life, enrich their lives. If we suspect it's enriching their lives, we should do it. So it's a different mindset, but that's where we're going. That's what we need to do. So, yeah, let's see. Venus Nova says, hey, Bill, I just got a 3-month-old carpet. She's been pretty dark throughout the day. Got a basking spot for her and everything I think is correct. Any suggestions? You're getting some mixed signals there. Dark can be because they're cold. And the thing is, you have to evaluate, can they use the basking light? And you're going to be the one I'm going to give you a number of things to check, and you go through it and you check your situation. First of all, the basking, it can't be too hot. If it's too hot, they may not go under it, or else they'll go under it and die. If they are dark and seem like they're being cold, I mean, there's other reasons for being dark, but cold is a reason, but they don't go under the basking lamp. You have to ask yourself, do they feel safe going to the basking lamp? Because a chameleon that does not feel safe will err on the side of staying hidden. So this is a fallacy where we think, well, we're providing heat, so if they want heat, they're going to go to it. That is true unless they don't feel safe going there. Because if they're going to get eaten, well, they'd rather stay where it's nice, dark, and hidden. So evaluate that. Generally speaking, a 3-month-old. So do you have it in too small of a cage? We usually put juveniles in small cages, and that really complicates things because all of your lights in a small enclosure are just too powerful. So you got to be really careful in balancing that all out. So those are some things right off the top of my head. And you're just going to have to play with it to figure out what it might be. So, and they and there's also a question about how much natural light is there, like the LED, the 6500K, the visible light. Sometimes chameleons will be dark if they don't have enough visible light. 22 by 17 by 24. That's a pretty good size. I think that's a good size for a carpet chameleon at 3 months. So, okay, I think you're doing okay with that. You're just gonna have to do your best to watch the behaviors and see if that gives you any clues. And the thing is, I can give you suggestions, but it's really going to be watching the behaviors because every situation is different. So let's see. I had no idea about how they lived, but learned a lot from this channel. Thank you so much. They are happy cams now. Even bought a wee crested gecko to keep them company. Anthony, that's that's a dangerous cohabitating lizards. That's a tricky situation. I would recommend not doing that. Don't keep them all separate, and you'll be a lot safer. So, my experience, cleaning the root system is more important than cleaning plant leaves. Oh, all right. All right, going through. What's a podcast you always wanted to do but never had a chance for whatever reason? If I had unlimited time, I would love to do a podcast on carnivorous plants. I love this question. That's a good question. Carnivorous plants or passion flowers. I would love to do. Yeah, that would be my dream, is to have enough time to sit around and have all the time in the world and do a podcast on carnivorous plants or passion flowers. Yeah. Don't even know what I'm doing with timers. Probably will burn my house down. James, talk to Dean. Help Dean. Oh. UFO podcast. Yeah. True alien crime. That's what I would do. Let's see. We're all booked up for January, Nicole. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yes, we get booked up for Madagascar. We get booked up about a year in advance, and so if anybody's interested in Madagascar, what I would recommend doing is stick around here and watch what we do in January. We're going to be all over this channel doing lives when we can, sharing everything we can. You'll get a good idea of what it's like, and then when I get back at the end of January, we'll start talking about 2026, and this will give you a time to decide if this is what you want, and to get ready for it, save up for it, and have pricing and stuff and all together. But yeah, it's getting close. Let's see. What was your recommendation for proper size for Parsons chameleon? The absolute minimum is 4 by 2 by 4, but I recommend going larger than that. Thing is, if you go larger than that, you end up building your own cage, and there are some larger cages out there, but yeah, 4 by 2 by 4, you can, if you do it right, you can get away with it. But even that, for the larger ones, like I got yellow giants right now, yeah, if you do it right, you can get away with that. But when you're talking about a Parsons and you really want to enjoy Parsons, give them space. Give them lots of room. My favorite way to keep Parsons is a walk-in enclosure. And that is one of the funnest ways to enjoy Parsons chameleons, because you just walk in. Now, most people aren't able to have a walk-in enclosure. I'm in Southern California, and so I'm able to do some outdoor stuff. That not everybody does that, or they can only do it for certain times of the year. So I'm not saying you have to do that and you're a bad keeper if you don't do that. I'm just saying it's a whole heck of a lot of fun to do that. Yeah. Let's see. Heard there's a chameleon that also has some glow. You take UVB to chameleons and they reflect UVB light. Chameleons can see into the, as far as we know right now, chameleons can see into the UVB range. So when chameleons looking at each other see an incredibly different animal than when we look at chameleons. Yeah. All right, looking through the chat, trying to catch up. Oh my goodness, it's Mike Taitula. Hey, Mike, very good to have you here. Hey, Mike, give us an idea of what's going on in your life. Let's see. I want to know what Mike's doing. Bill, do you have to have cooler for Parsons? That's a good idea, Justin. They do like it cooler. I don't like it when they get into it gets into the upper 80s and 90s. They can, if you have a large enough enclosure and you do it right and you have your misters going, they can take care. They can go through that. But you do have to watch. They are cool weather chameleons. You do have to watch the temperature. They're not panthers. That's right. Marvin is walking around Costco watching this. Well, that's a good thing to do in Costco. I'm glad to be on your trip with Costco. Yeah, let's see. I'm the worst Petco employee ever. Straight up tell people to go to places like Morph Market. I always love telling people that the way I personally keep is vastly different than what Petco suggests. Yeah. Aquazamp. Someone's been around for a while. Oh. Love to get them, Bill, but my hands are a bit full with the babies. I'm not in a way. Yeah. When you've got babies, you got your hands full. Hello, I'm late. Well, skinny and short, we're glad you got here. My local Petco's managers, member of the Chameleon Enthusiast. Everybody, if you're on Facebook, I don't encourage anybody to go to Facebook, but if you're on Facebook, the Chameleon Enthusiast is the group that I hang out with. And I recommend that group. Dude, this is not this is not recommended. Someone's going to get eaten. Yeah. Oh. So, all right. Dumb question. We love dumb questions here. But do chameleons react to changes in weather outside, like changes to barometric pressure with frontal passage? I don't know what frontal passage is, but the answer is yes. They do adjust to what's going on outside if they have any way to know what's going on outside. If you have them inside, if there's a window in the room, then the light, the length of day, affects them. Even though in Madagascar they don't have, well, actually Madagascar is kind of south, so they do have changes there. But if you get these chameleons around the equator, they don't know what this different this longer night means. But depends on how much the inside changes. Like Parsons chameleons will when it starts getting into the winter, it starts getting cooler, they'll go into brumation. Like my Parsons chameleons are going to brumation right now. If they were inside, then, and I was keeping them away from the lowering night temperature, then they would not brumate. And but the inside of my house, the temperature does go down at night, unless I have the heater on, which I don't. But the temperature would go down further in the winter than it does in the summer, even if I try to maintain some sort of environment within my house. So they will react as far as they are exposed to it. So, barometric pressure, that affects all over the place, especially if you open a window. So, let's see. Thoughts on doing a floor-to-ceiling outdoor setup, like WWR, Wiccan's Wicked Repids, did for his iguana. That has a doggy door of sorts to go inside, enclosure, temperature controlled, humidity, compromise here and so. Nicole, it's a great idea. I love it. I do it. That's in Southern California. You can keep a lot of chameleons outside, especially in larger enclosures. The larger it is, the more of a swing in temperature they can handle. Make sure it's heavily planted and has a soil bottom. That, yeah, you're Nicole. That's the way to keep. That's not a novel idea on how to keep larger chameleons. That is the preferred way. So you are on the right track. What's up, Bill? How inactive are your Parsons during promotion, probably brumation? Do they stop eating for long periods? Yes, they do. They stop. They just don't feel like eating anymore. Right now, half of them are slowing down on eating. The other half are kind of eating. So it's starting. It's starting. Tried the vitamin A for my chameleon eyes that were closed. They are now open and getting better looking. I just used brewed tea bags against the eyes. All right, I don't know anything about the brewed tea bags against the eyes, but if your chameleon has a vitamin A deficiency, vitamin A is the way to do it. And yes, we do see vitamin A deficiency come out in the eyes. Yeah. All right. Missed you at AnimalCon. I did not get to go to AnimalCon. I am so sorry about that. Yeah. But it looks like you guys had a fun time. I'm going to be Bill for Halloween. Oh, yeah. I'd love to see that costume. Annabalistic, hello, good evening. I'd listen to your Carnivorous Plant podcast. That would be so much fun. I'd have a good time. Don't be the first person on social media to admit their chameleon got eaten by a plant. That is a quote from Roxanne. Does that come from one of my websites or one of my podcasts? I don't know. Oh, yes, that is something that I said somewhere along the way, talking about carnivorous plants with chameleons. You can do it like with an adult chameleon. You can put a Venus flytrap in, no problem. Just don't do it with a baby. The problem with Venus flytraps and stuff is they need to be near the lights. They need a strong light, so you can't have it at the bottom of the cage. So you end up having it way up top where it's distracting and you don't really enjoy the Venus flytrap. So you got to do it carefully. So do you feed silkworms more than roaches? I feed roaches more than silkworms because they're easier for me to get at. Oh, can you put passion flowers in with chameleons? Yes, you can. I've done it extensively. I do it anytime I can. The problem with doing it indoors is passion flowers need a whole lot of light. So you need a lot of UV LED bars, but I have had passion flowers bloom indoors in a chameleon cage when I used a lot of those LED jungle dawns. So it can happen. And of course, outdoors, I use them extensively. So, okay. Are there any plans for a species profile for Chameleon Academy with Parsons? Yes, there are. There is. But I want to get my Shamrock Chameleon profile done first. So I've got a long list of things, but yes, it definitely is on the list. Totally off subject. When you mist in the morning and in the evening, how long do you mist? Is it 30 seconds? I missed a couple of minutes. And how much you miss is going to depend upon how big the cage is, what's in the cage, and what your humidity is. And so I will adjust my misting time depending upon what the ambient conditions are. Now, misting, if you're misting in the early morning and in the evening and just doing it for humidity, it's based on humidity. If you're misting during the day, which that's not the way I do it, but a lot of people do, then you have to mist long enough that the chameleon actually drinks. And so I don't do it that way. But you have to just you judge through your own situation, and as long as you have drainage and someplace for the water to go, then you can err on the side of going extra long, and it's not going to hurt the chameleon. Is that a brevicorn on the thumbnail? Oh, Ross, good eye. Those colors are incredible. Been on the hunt for my own. Ross, that is actually a Malthae, Kaluma Malthae. It's part of the brevicorn complex. I don't know, Cuculata complex, the brevicorn family. I don't know the official word on that. But that was actually Malthae. So let's see. OnlyFans. Hello. Hope all is well with you. Yes, things are very well. And everybody, Yvette and I had a weekend getaway. And of course, since she's a gecko mama, she brought her eggs. Any eggs that were in any danger of or close to hatching, she brought. So we had a bunch of eggs brought with us on the trip. By the time we got to where we were going, one had hatched. And by the next morning, when we were ready to go, the two more had hatched. And so she brought all of the eggs, and she brought the empty carrying containers just in case anyone hatched. They all got their own little container. And so she was prepared. That's what happens when you go on get away with a gecko mama. They take care of their eggs. It was so cool. It was so cool. So, and by the way, like OnlyFans, anybody on the new YouTube channel that I do the Misty Forest Dragons, I actually have a short where I took a video of the experience. And so if you want to go to the new YouTube channel, Misty Forest Dragons, there is a short about the that shows the babies being born and like the box of eggs and the new place where they went when they hatched. Someday I'll be doing a large grow tent for Parsons. Grow tents are cool. Been considering moving to a state where I can have a larger outdoor side indoor facility. Oh, yeah, that's the dream. That's the dream. So, OnlyFans, Misty Forest Dragons on YouTube. And I put a link into Instagram, but they don't let me put links in. So, let's see. Parsons have to be amongst the most alluring chameleons, something about the charisma. And that's absolutely correct. I 100% agree. There's something about Parsons chameleons. It's amazing. So, let's let's see. Okay, going through. I'm trying to catch up on the chat. Oh, okay. And I love the fact that there's a lot of conversation in the chat of people talking back and forth and stuff. That is very cool. I love seeing the community take care of themselves, taking care of each other. Sorry. So what do you do for dropping temperatures in winter without getting too cold? It's supposed to the end of the week. If you're talking about outside, I bring my chameleons in when it gets too cold. And so either I have cages that are on wheels, or else I have an indoor cage that they can come into. And that's just the way I found the best way I like to do my chameleons is I have 2 cages. That was the ideal. There was one time that I literally had outdoor cages for every chameleon as well as indoor cages for every chameleon. And that was the happiest time of my life. And I am working to get back to that. Do chameleons brumate? My beardy slept for like 4 months last season, so I was just wondering if they do it too. Yes, they do. We have so many different chameleons, over 200 species of chameleons, and they live in such a diverse. There's ones that live in the Namib Desert. There are ones that live in South Africa. There are ones that live in Kenya, in Europe, in Madagascar, and they have such a variety from the desert to the mountaintops to the humid jungles. So every one of them has different things that they do. But like the Kaluma Parsons, they will brumate. Thamnobates, Bradypodian thamnobates, they will actually hide under rocks while it snows. So there's all sorts of things that chameleons do to survive, but some of them do brumate. Hello, Stephanie. Welcome. Glad to have you here. And yes, there's something on the way. Okay, have you had any experience with the Repticolor by ZoomEd? No, I have not. I have not had any luck with these small portable things that try to be an air conditioner. I go straight to having an air conditioner, either a window unit or one of the portable ones that exhaust through the window. Everything else is just doesn't do the job like I need it to do. And of course, when you're working with Jackson's chameleons, like I was, you got to be serious about your cooling. Very serious about your cooling. Oh. All right. Marsha Ann is inspired, and I think we should all be more like Marsha Ann and get some ice cream. Oh. Hey, we have Osaid from India. Hello, welcome. So asking about my incubator, I use a wine cooler to get them down to, if I do a diapause, and then I just leave them in room temperature. Now, I have a different room temperature than most people do. My wife is Yvette Strand from Misty Mountain Fans, and so we have a couple of rooms that are kept at Fantasticus, Europlatus Fantasticus temperatures, which are great for incubating chameleon eggs. So I just keep them in the room that is temperature controlled for Fantasticus. And actually, that is why I don't have panther chameleons indoors, and I'm working with a Shamrock Chameleon, the Shaughnessy, because I have a cold house. Let's see. We have Jarek. Thank you. How do I get to that? There we go. Jarek, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. I can be there in spirit since I can't take the trip this year. Use this once you land, please. I can buy some vanilla with that. Yeah. But Jarek, 2020, what's next? 2020. We're in 24, 26. Oh gosh, I don't even know what year I'm living in. So, do you buy your fans from Josh? Living Rarities. I live with Misty Mountain Fans is is pretty much the one who started Fans here. So I get my fans from my wife. We have so many. We have a lot of fans. She's very very good at what she does. And oh yes. Oh, I got to tell you, if you're gonna have your wife get obsessed with a reptile, your play is Fantasticus is like the dream. Oh, love it. Love it. And she comes in here and oh look, a little baby, and there's this little dragon sitting on her finger. It is so cute. I love it. And I love that she carries a bunch of eggs with us where we go. The outside cages you run, mistress, keep them cool. Yes, that is the way I keep them cool. When you have a large outdoor cage, you keep things cool by having it heavily planted and have a soil base. And so there's a lot of shade and it's wet and the sun doesn't hit the bottom. Oh, geez. So, okay. Okay. Stop. All right. I was referring to the nighttime drop for Jackson's. I meant to say it's going to snow this weekend. My phone doesn't even like the word snow. Okay, I'm not sure what the original question was, but okay. What was your question? You're asking. Referring to the nighttime drop Jackson's. I meant to say it's going to snow this weekend. Okay. Could you ask your question again? I have lost the beginning part of your question, Bob, just so I get the right context. So, I love the Indian homies. We got Xylanicus, Cameleo Xylanicus living there. Yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, we've got all sorts of lateralis coming into the community. This is so exciting. You're living the dream, Bill. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Oh, and when there's overflow, see, every baby gets their own cage. This is the thing that Yvette has really worked on, and she just put her foot in and said every Fant has their own cage, and that solved so many problems. And it's I wish we in the reptile community would stop making the default to keep our reptiles together. And there's something about us human beings. We just love keeping things together. And it shouldn't be the reptiles do so much better. I mean, even dart frogs, we keep them together. Oh, they can be kept together. Dart frogs sometimes try to kill each other. Just because they're not hurting each other doesn't mean they like being with each other. But anyway, that's my rant, my general rant. I'm gonna have to do a YouTube video on that and just expand on the thinking. It's Stinky. What's really interesting is for the first years of our many years of our marriage, she supported me with my chameleons and reptiles. We've had Fantasticus for over 10, 15 years. And she supported it. She helped me, but she never was passionate about that until until one day she just came up and just said, I want my own fans. Like, what? And it was like life-changing. I don't know where it came from. Oh, but it's been an incredible thing. We have had so much fun. It is so much fun having this dynamic together where we're both working with reptiles. We work with different reptiles, but there's so much crossover between Eurypletus, arboreal reptiles in general. There's so much crossover, and I think it's kind of a shame. One of the reasons why I really like this new channel is because I think it's been a shame that we have all of these different communities that are isolated from each other. And we've got smart people in these different communities working on the same problems. And one thing I loved about my podcast is I had this feature called the Outer Fringes where I brought some of them on and we talked. And it was wonderful talking to people who've been working on the same problems. So I'm hoping that's going to be part of my my new channel, to be able to do that and get more and more of these conversations going within the community. What size enclosure sizes does she use for her geckos? Justin, that is a deep question that has a long answer. And in fact, that's going to be in the video that's coming out next week. We're going to have a big discussion about that. The difference between when you keep them as a breeder and when you keep them as a keeper. And something that we need to do in the community is separate those. She loves keeping them in 36-inch tall, one fant in a 36-inch tall cage. It could be the 18 by 18. I generally do the 24 wide by about 18 deep and then 36 inches high. Because the thing about Eurypletus, generally speaking, all the Eurypletus, well, I don't know all, most of the Eurypletus, is we see them during the day and they're sedentary during the day. And a lot of them are plastered on these, on the trunks. The thing is, that's not how they are at night. They're not vertical species. They're bouncing around through the branches during the day. Fantasticus, Cicorae, these other Eurypletus as well. And so we're not giving them the proper caging when we just give them all these vertical branches. That's just where they sleep. So yeah, anyway, this will get me going really on a real tangent. So it's okay, guys. It's after 6 o'clock. I'm going to work through the chat, but if you have any final questions, put it down there and I'll get to it. And just a reminder, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Pacific, we're going to be doing the DIY Chameleon guys on the Chameleon Academy channel. And we have a special guest, Eliza Ann, going to be talking about making t-shirts, because we do DIY and we love DIY everything. James is putting together cages. That's a good thing. So let's see. Okay. All right. We have come to the end. If I missed your question, I apologize. There's a lot of things that go on crazy. So tomorrow morning on the Chameleon Academy channel, we can watch DIY Chameleon guys. For the first episode, the first showing, it is there's a live chat where I'm there, James there, the Cluminati is there. A lot of these people that you see in the chat are there. And then everybody, I encourage you, please check out Misty Forest Dragons on YouTube. That's my general reptile channel. And I have the first episode out. It's about choosing a beginner reptile. And of course, I come at it. It's not just here's the beginner reptiles, choose one of these. I come at it from a thoughtful position of let's talk about it. And so I hope that to start conversation and give people the tools to make the decision, not just give them the decision. That's what I like. So, all right. Yeah, Winnabeatus is going to be there. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for joining in. Have a good night. I'll see you next time.